1.
Necessity.
Necessity.
Water and air are the necessities of life. No humans can live without them.
2.
Plenty.
Plenty.
There's no hurry. We still have plenty of time to get to the airport.
3.
Sufficient.
Sufficient.
Matt didn't get a sufficient amount of sleep last night. Therefore, he nodded off in class this morning.
4.
Expert.
Expert.
Lisa really is a computer expert. It took her only 3 minutes to fix my computer. Expert.
Expert. To find out how much the gold necklace is worth, you will have to look for some expert help. 5.
Average.
Average.
The report indicates that, on average, men spend more money on online shopping than women do in Taiwan. Average.
Average. The average age of first-year students in most senior high schools is 15. 6.
Awake.
Awake.
When Kira feels sleepy at work, she usually drinks some black coffee to help her stay awake.
7.
Access.
Access.
The city government decided to build more libraries in order to provide more of its citizens with access to books and magazines.
8.
Information.
Information.
With the Internet, looking for information about many subjects has become a lot easier than it was before. Inform.
Inform. The hospital will inform the patient of the results of the physical examination in a week.
Informative.
Informative.
This book about the history of Taiwan is informative. It helps me understand what happened during the past 400 years.
9.
Competitive.
Competitive.
In such a highly competitive job market, only those who have special qualities can really stand out from others. Competition.
Competition. There has been a lot of competition between the two students to become the class leader.
Compete.
Compete.
In the Olympics, players from all over the world compete with one another for medals.
10.
Struggle.
Struggle.
The doctor struggled for hours to save the patient's life, but in the end, he still died. Struggle.
Struggle. The factory workers are carrying on with their struggle for a pay raise, even though they know it will be a long, hard fight. 11.
Consistently.
Consistently.
Exercising regularly and consistently is good for a person's health. Consistent.
Consistent. When you write, you should make sure that the tenses are consistent throughout the essay. 12.
Ignore.
Ignore.
Tony ignored the quiet please sign in the library and talked loudly with his friends.
13.
Limit.
Limit.
All drivers should drive within the speed limit or they may be fined. Limit.
Limit. The national park limits the types of cars and the number of people that can enter the park every day in order to protect the environment there. 14.
Consequence.
Consequence.
Weight gain and back pain are just two of the consequences of sitting for long periods of time. Consequent.
Consequent. The gunfight in the gas station and the consequent fire frightened the people nearby. 15.
Pilot.
Pilot.
Airline pilots must bear the responsibility for taking passengers from one place to another safely.
16.
Field.
Field.
Professionals are people who have a lot of experience and great knowledge in the fields they work in.
When I was little, I often sat beside my family's rice field and watched my grandparents taking care of the crops. 17.
Medical.
Medical.
Because Cecilia has suffered from severe backache for over a week, She seeks medical advice from the doctor.
18.
Shift.
Shift.
To encourage more of its workers to work the night shift, the factory has decided to offer them higher pay.
The sudden shift in the government's policy has greatly affected the working class.
Shift.
Shift.
In recent years, the interest of many teenagers has shifted away from books to online games.
19.
Percent.
Percent.
90% of the 500 students in the grade passed the exam. In other words, 50 students failed. Percentage.
Percentage. A high percentage of the people who live in this city take the MRT to work, so the subway here is always crowded during rush hour. 20.
Admit.
Admit.
I have to admit that I disagree with your idea. I said nothing about it before just because I didn't want to break your heart. Admission.
Admission. The thief not only made an admission of guilt to the police, but also told them where he hid all of the things he had stolen. 21.
Injure.
Injure.
The people who were seriously injured in the earthquake were rushed to the hospital. Injury.
Injury. A head injury should never be taken lightly because it can cause serious brain damage. 22.
Confess.
Confess.
Nicholas confessed that he had broken the window, and he said that he was willing to pay for the repair.